Welcome to a new episode of Business Intelligence with Domo. My name is Claus. I am a certified Domo professional and Domo partner, and in today's episode, I will show you how to use Domo's automated machine learning for churn prediction. So, what is automated machine learning or AutoML? AutoML is basically automating the end-to-end process of applying machine learning to real-world problems. So, normally you have a data science team, which is, for example, doing some data cleaning, feature engineering, model selection, and parameter optimization. And if you don't know what all these terms mean, don't worry. Because with automated machine learning, you don't have to study 2 years of data science like I did to implement data science in your organization. So with AutoML, you basically just have to take your data and then you throw it into the AutoML solution, and yeah, everything will be done automatically based on best practices. But enough talking, let's jump into it so that you can see how it works in a production environment with real data. So first of all, we have our data here in Domo, like always. So this is a data set from a mobile phone company, which has customer information inside 5,000 rows. And you can see in each row, there's information for a single customer. For example, in which state the customer is living, what is the phone number, what kind of mobile phone plan the customer has, how many calls he did, how many messages he sent, stuff like that. And at the end also a class column, and in this class column it indicates if the customer churned or not. So 0 is not churned and the 1 is churned, right? This is very important because you want to predict it for new customers or for existing customers how likely they are to churn. Yeah? And to do so, we basically just go here to AutoML, to this tab here. We're coming to this view and we click on get started. As a next step, we can just select the column we want to predict on. So as I just mentioned, it's the class column, which has the churn yes or no data inside, and the model approach, we just leave it to automatic, and then we go on start predicting. Yeah. And now the whole process is starting, and yeah, basically now the best part is coming because AutoML is doing all the work for you, and you just have to wait a little bit, and you can finally make a small siesta. And once you wake up, you have successfully ran over 100 different data science models with various parameters, and you can tell your boss what a hardworking employee you are and why you should get a pay raise. So see you in a little bit. Welcome back, guys. It's now almost 40 minutes later. That's the time what it took to run all these models. Enough time to do a half an hour siesta and to prepare myself a good cup of Colombian coffee. And yeah, now we are back here. We can see that we have a best candidate selected with almost 91% prediction confidence. It used an XGBoost algorithm, and we can see also some more details here, how many rounds it ran and kind of hyperparameters. Yeah, so that's still a beta version, so for some parts you don't see some information here, but in general that's awesome. 91%, 40 minutes of rating and basically doing nothing. That's an amazing result, and especially for that use case, I would say 91% is very good. So we can go and move on, and we can deploy it to an ETL. This is what we are going to do. So we click deploy ETL. We skip all this information because we already know all that stuff. And here we have our AutoML inference tile. And now what I'm doing, I'm deleting this input data set, and I'm selecting my CRM customer details, which is stored on a MySQL database on AWS, but it can be also, for example, any data from Salesforce. And I'm using here also quickly let's see, filter, or let's use first of all select columns. Yeah. Then we can see what kind of columns we have inside. I'm eliminating here the badge columns. We don't need them, and we can see these are basically kind of the same columns we had in our training data set, right? Just the class is missing. Yeah. Now I'm connecting this to the tile, and I can say here, okay, that's the model I'm using. Yeah, we just ran, and the new column should be called, yeah, class prediction. That's fine for me. And now I'm also putting here a value mapper because I want to have it a bit more user friendly for the end user. So I'm saying at the end class prediction. Yeah, I'm creating a new column which is called then churn risk, for example. It's a text, and I want to have, if there's a 0, I want to have it as a low, and if there's a 1, then it's a high risk of churn, right? So I'm doing here done. I'm adding an output data set. Let's call it, for example, tutorial churn prediction ETL. Yeah. I'm also calling the data flow like this. And now everything I have to do is just clicking on save and run. Yeah. And now it will take a couple of minutes to run and to do the inference here. I'm explaining something in between, which I think is pretty nice. So I can put here like the trigger frequency, and I can say, hey, whenever my CRM data, new customer data is getting updated, for example, every day, this prediction should run, right? So now this is configured. It will now take some time running, some couple of minutes, I think. So in the meantime, yeah, I can finish my coffee and see you in a bit. So now it's finished, and we have our output data set here. It ran successfully. We can have a look into the data. In this case, I just use like 36 sample customers, right? And you can see we also have all these features inside this data set with all the information. And at the end of the data set, we have here the class prediction, which is the predicted value for the specific customer, where we have the 0 and 1, and we have the churn risk, like in a more user-friendly way, with like low and high risk of churning. So as a next step, what we want to do is creating a small visualization. Let's click here. Let's quickly create a pie chart, for example, and we use the churn risk here and here. Let's eliminate this summary number. Let's make it a bit more nice. It shows all the percentages, or like the value and the percentage. And let's do some color coding here. If the churn risk is high, then we want to have it as a red flag. And if the churn risk is low, everything is good and it's green. Okay, let's do that. And here we have our card. And now we can save it. And as a next step, we basically just need to go and share this card, or this dashboard, as we're creating a dashboard from it. Then we just have to share it with our client success team, and the client success team can now see, oh, we have 6 clients at high risk of churning, and they can drill down into the data. And if you combine this data, for example, if you have also the client name inside, and you can join the email address and the phone number, so that your client success team can directly start calling them, and making sure that the customer doesn't churn, because we all know how high customer acquisition costs can be. So if we just save X amount of customers, we can easily justify, for example, the license cost of Domo with just one simple use case, right? So that's it. And so if your organization has been afraid of all the challenges of bringing data science into production, then I think now it's the time to overcome these fears, because with today's tools, you don't need to be a data scientist anymore to implement data science in your organization, right? And if you want to know if you have the right data in your organization to take you from a data science zero to a data science hero, then just send me a message. Also, if you have any questions, or you want to see how you can tackle other scenarios with Domo, just leave a comment below. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.